Hi, everyone, and welcome to the March edition of the Developer Newsletter video series. My name is Rahima, and I'm a developer advocate engineer here at Zoom. This month, we'll cover an array of different topics, from those that have to do with the developer platform here at Zoom to those that have to do with our monthly theme around the world of software development. So, without further ado, let's go ahead and get started and introduce this month's theme. We're going to start off talking about containers by looking at something that has a pretty steep learning curve when getting started with it. If you guessed Kubernetes, you're correct. Now, when working with Kubernetes, we know that the first step is to run a cluster on your machine locally. But if you use the tool Minikube that's introduced in the article linked below, you can set up and run KA clusters locally on your machine and make the process a bit easier. So again, be sure to check out that article that's linked below. Next, speaking of containers, I want you to imagine building your own with just 100 lines of code. If you don't think it's possible, be sure to check out the talk by Liz Rice, linked below, where they go over the principles that make containers work and how to build your own using the language Golang. Lastly, we're going to cover what is quite arguably one of the first tools centered around infrastructure as code. Terraform allows developers to write the infrastructure as they would a regular program and deploy it on any cloud provider. Be sure to click the link below to follow along with the tutorial and learn about the basics of Terraform. And by the end, you'll have deployed your own small project on AWS. So speaking of containerizing applications, let's go ahead and shift gears and talk about what it takes to market your application by previewing our upcoming webinar. Join us on April 29th at 1 p.m. Eastern Time for a live webinar on how to market your application. You'll be joined by a panel of experts who will answer your questions and dive into different topics, such as using visuals to increase the impact of your application on the marketplace and becoming a community member to increase awareness about your application. Be sure to sign up and save your spot today by clicking on the link below. Now, moving on from events that are coming up, let's talk about the latest news within the developer platform. Our SDKs have had some amazing updates recently, and we're going to start off by focusing on the Unity wrapper for the Video SDK. This beta release allows you to leverage Zoom's core technology with augmented and virtual reality-based conferencing solutions. You can head over to the Zoom app marketplace to download the Unity wrapper and get started building. Additionally, feel free to check out our sample application for a demo and use as a reference point. Now, this release is in beta, and that means that your feedback is crucial for us. Be sure to leave your opinions on the Unity wrapper by filling out the form linked below. Now let's look at the Meeting SDK for the Unreal Engine. This toolkit extends Zoom's functionality into Unreal C++ and Blueprint development environments by using the Meeting SDK for Windows. To get started building with this, you can also head over to our Zoom app marketplace and download it from there. Now, next, we're going to talk about the UI toolkit that's been released for the Video SDK. If you've ever built with the Video SDK, you know that the limitless possibilities for customization can sometimes lead to more steps than we'd like when building. Now, with the UI toolkit, you can easily integrate the Video SDK into your project. Through a few simple lines of code, you can have a Video SDK session started and choose from the features that you want to incorporate as well. You can read more about the UI toolkit within our documentation and get started building from there. Lastly, we're going to talk about the new release of Client 6.0 and how this impacts our SDKs. So this new release is going to have some changes that our SDKs are going to inherit. These changes are shown on the screen to the right. Now, while you're looking at these, also know that you can read up about more of these changes by checking out our changelog that is linked inside of our documentation. All right, now that we've covered the latest news, let's go ahead and move on to the content that's been released this past month, created by our developer advocates. We're going to start off by looking at the raw recording sample application using the Video SDK for Linux. This allows you to build custom video meeting applications with access to raw video and audio data, enabling highly interactive custom user experiences. You can watch the tutorial on our YouTube channel or read through with the blog on developers.zoom.us/blog. Next, we're going to look at how to enable picture-in-picture with Zoom Meeting SDK iOS applications. If you've ever wanted to give users the ability to multitask while using your application, read through the article linked below on how to enable picture-in-picture using CallKit. Lastly, we're going to talk about building with the Video SDK using vanilla JavaScript. If you've ever wondered how to get from 0 to 1, or simply how to get to Hello World with the Video SDK while using no frameworks, but simply pure JavaScript, check out the blog that's linked below. All right, that is it for March's edition of the Zoom Developer Newsletter Series. If you find yourself with any questions while building with our products, be sure to find us on our developer forum at devforum.zoom.us. Additionally, you can join our developer office hours that happen every third Thursday of the month at 1 p.m. Eastern Time. There, we'll go over any questions that you may have. I'll see you all next month. Happy building, and thanks for joining me.